Hey everyone, it's Michael GoosebumpsFan. Today I have a film from 1962 to talk about that I really love. This is a thing like Goosebumps, and I usually talk about, when it comes to movies at least, I usually talk about either kids' films or that type of thing, or I talk about old black and white horror films and thrillers and that kind of thing, mainly with sci-fi and horror, because that's the big things that feel a lot like Goosebumps, and probably inspired R.L. Stine to talk about or create Goosebumps. So I really like this kind of thing. This particular film is Carnival of Souls. I have it in this Horror Classics 50 movie box set. I love this thing. There's, Lon Chaney Sr. as the Phantom of the Opera, the very scary film that's also included in here. I've never seen that. I might try to watch that this month for the first time and talk about it here on the channel. It's a silent film. Maybe people wouldn't have an interest in that, but I will anyway. I want to, one of my plans for in the future one day is to possibly later on in the future, whenever, God willing, I finish, if God allows it, if I finish all the Goosebumps books and I catch up completely to everything ever published from Goosebumps and review all the books and whatever, and YouTube just so happens to still exist at that time, my plan is to go over to my other channel, Strange Michael, and probably just do movie reviews from that point on until new Goosebumps videos come out, or new news, or movies, or adaptations, or books, or whatever comes out to talk about them on this channel. That's kind of my plan for the future. That's really all I can think of. I have a long time until then, probably 2 years, I would say, depending on what comes out at that time. A lot of stuff to be released at that point. So we have a while, but this is one of the things I want to talk about right now. I'm sure one day if that ever happens and I do make it that far and get to go over to the other channel, I'll probably talk about this on that channel again, because Carnival of Souls is a great film to watch in October. It just feels like an October-y type of film. The particular copy on this DVD box set is a little not transferred as well. I love Mill Creek Entertainment, I really do. They're the people who produce these box sets. I love them. Great company, really cool stuff that they put out. As a horror fan, I love the stuff they put out. They put out a lot of good black and white movies that I love a lot. And this is one of the, they kind of vary on what you get in here. They're all transferred from VHS copies to DVD, burned basically. And so it kind of depends on what you pick up. It can be great. A lot of them can be, honestly. Carnival of Souls is a fantastic film. I kind of wish I had a VHS copy or something of it because of how good it is. It really is a solid flick. It's kind of scary, too, frankly. I think that this is probably one of the films that R.L. Stine has probably either talked about at some point or has probably not had the chance to talk about how much he likes this, because it feels like any kind of Carnival-themed Goosebumps book, like One Day at Horrorland, or like I don't know, really any kind of Carnival-themed thing. Some of the Give Yourself Goosebumps books, like Escape from, what was that one book? It's like the first one. What is it called? You know what I mean. Anyway, those kinds of Give Yourself Goosebumps books and stuff, anything dealing with a carnival, typically feels a little bit like Carnival of Souls. Now, it's not entirely focused around a carnival. It's a little bit involved in the story. It's a nice little atmospheric thing. This film apparently also really inspired George Romero in a lot of ways. The creator of Night of the Living Dead, and Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead, all these really great zombie flicks, kind of the master of zombies, if you will. I've talked about Night of the Living Dead here on the channel as well. And Carnival of Souls really gets to me. The first time I ever saw this, probably roughly close to 10 years ago. It was a while back. I haven't seen it until this year. I tried to think about watching it last year. I think I started watching, I didn't finish it. I was going to review it for a Things Like Goosebumps segment here on the channel for October of last year. I had so much going on with all the reading I had to do and stuff. I didn't have the time, so I thought I'd do it this year. I really like Carnival of Souls. I didn't realize how well this would hold up this time around. But anyway, to get to the plot, Herc Harvey, who directed and kind of sort of co-wrote this, he kind of came up with the story itself and then it was adapted or kind of worked on heavily or something like that by the writer they hired after that. Herc Harvey not only directs the film and kind of co-wrote it, he also stars in the film, he also plays the villain in the film, the Man, as he's typically called. So essentially this woman, who is played, I want to give her name down because she's very good in the movie, Candice Hilligoss plays Mary Henry, dyslexia, I guess. I don't have, not dyslexia that I don't have. Apparently that's here. Mary Henry. Anyway, she gets in a car accident with some friends when they are, at the beginning of the film, challenged by a couple of guys that pull up in their car wanting to race them. And when they hit a bridge at one point, this main girl, Mary, and her two friends go off of the bridge into the waters down below. The two friends drown. The car is basically, I guess, never found, and Mary somehow managed to get out and swim to shore and was pretty much saved by everybody else. They put a blanket over her shoulders and everything. She's such a strong character. I really like her a lot. I think a lot of people classify a lot of 60s films and 60s female characters, for that matter, to be kind of just bland and needing a hero all the time. It's not really the case here. She's a strong kind of character that I like a lot. I'm not really one of the pushers for strong independent woman characters. I don't really care as long as it's a good character. And she's a good character. I like Mary a lot. She plays the organ. She plays it in churches and stuff. She actually wants to get a new church to go work at as an organ player. But after this whole thing happened with her car wreck and this trauma that happened of losing those friends and whatnot, she starts to see this man. One of the best scenes ever is the road trip she's driving on, and she looks out her passenger window, and the things she sees out there, that's pretty scary, man. Herc Harvey in general in this movie as the man, or whatever this ghostly thing is that has the black shadowing around his eyes, he has so many great moments in this movie. He is just plumb out iconic, man. I cannot believe when I see, like, greatest horror movie moment videos out there and stuff, or like on YouTube, top 10 scariest clips. I can't believe that I don't see him a whole lot from, like, references to older black and white horror movies. He's really good here. He doesn't say a word in the entire movie as far as I remember, and he's great. He really is fantastic here. Really spooky, just eerie, the way he carries himself, the way he walks, the way he moves, just certain things, the imagery in this film, like the passenger seat window thing I talked about a moment ago, they're iconic. They're things that people, especially Goosebumps fans, in my opinion, should know. It's great. It's great. Seriously. I don't want to tell you too much because the ending is fantastic in this movie. I really like the ending a lot. I think the execution of pretty much every choice in here, whether it be the acting, the casting, everything, especially the ending with the way that's told, the way it goes, really solid. Again, the imagery of with the directing and the writing kind of working together to show Herc Harvey's the man character, the way he shows up, the way he does things, just the imagery involved there as a director. Herc Harvey knew what he was doing, and he did a really good job with this movie. I like it a lot. It really creeps me out. The music is very organ-ish, and that works tremendously to its benefit. It just has this atmosphere that a lot of black and white films that I'm familiar with, I'm not super obsessed with them. I haven't seen many, but I do enjoy them a lot, especially with like creepy zombie flicks like Night of the Living Dead and stuff like that. A lot of things like that. I like the music there. I think even sometimes when they have the lack of music there, it really makes it more effective in a lot of ways. Night of the Living Dead does really well with its score, and when it doesn't have a score, it does it even better. This film is the same way. There are some scenes involving a carnival, which is really creepy. Really creepy stuff. There's one particular thing involving a jump scare here. I won't spoil what it is, but when it hit, the first time I saw this movie, I was not really the biggest black and white movie fan of anything. Horror, sci-fi, anything for that matter, when it comes to black and white films. And even this time, seeing the film and knowing that that jump scare was going to come, because it stuck with me all this time, it hit this time, it still got me. It still got me this time around. So I would almost call this film a timeless horror film. I know it was like partially remade, rebooted, whatever, in like the 90s. It doesn't look like it'd be good. I would be curious to check it out just out of curiosity, but I don't think it's going to hit as well as I think it should. So that is what that is too, if you want to be honest. But this was pretty great. I was really surprised by how much fun I had with this time around after already seeing it before. Very good film. And again, I recommend it for this month. This is one of those months where you could watch things like, what is that one particular film? I can't remember the title of that film that gets me so bad. It's in this box set too. I want to make sure I got the title right. Just a second, guys. I'm sorry. Where is it? Where is it at? It's in this box set. I know it is. It's got to be in here, dude. I know I've seen it on this box set before. I'm having one of those weird dementia moments. Where is it? Oh my god. Come on. House on Haunted Hill. That's what it is. House on Haunted Hill I talked about on this channel at one point, I believe. And that's a great example of a film that you watch in October. Just like this, just like the Halloween Michael Myers movies. Those types of movies work so well when they really feel like Halloween time. Satan's Little Helper is another one in case you haven't seen that film before. It's more of a newer film from like the late 90s, early 2000s. I like fall time movies. Not that this takes place during the fall or anything as far as I know. But it's great. As a black and white horror film, it hits home in a good way in October. I always wish, in a lot of ways as an adult now, that I had grown up watching more black and white things. I watched some Twilight Zone here and there, just in general. I wish I had seen more black and white horror films like Them, about the giant ants, I believe is what it was. I wish I had seen more of that growing up in October. Not just the AMC Horror Fest or Fright Fest or whatever it was called, like I typically watched, with Child's Play and all these other things in there. I wish I had mostly grown up on this. Because these black and white horror films, man, they really work. The Universal Monsters films are another one I really like a lot that I want to talk about more this month. I've only talked about like Frankenstein and a couple of Invisible Man films, but never really talked about more of the Frankenstein series and Dracula films, Wolfman, all of those things. And this is a great example of a film that should really not be passed over. It's great. I wish I saw more copies of this floating around. I wish I saw more people my age talking about this thing. I'm 25, turning 26 in November, and I really wish more people my age liked this movie. I wish more younger people who happen to be watching this channel, you could probably find this film free to watch on YouTube, more than likely, because more than likely the copyright's probably gone if it's on this box set. Like House on Haunted Hill is another one that you should really check out. Both of these. They are great films, really spooky, a little silly, but very much in the same sense of Goosebumps being kind of silly in general. It's almost childish in a weird way, but the atmosphere is what you watch these for. Anyway, the acting is all good. I think everything about this movie is really great. It's not a perfect movie by any means, like most things. Pretty much, no movie is pretty much perfect, but this is pretty great as a little horror film. If you want something good to watch this October, watch Carnival of Souls from 1962. Anyway, if I'm going to rate this awesome little flick on a 5-star basis, I'm going to give it a really high 4 out of 5 stars. I like it a lot. Carnival of Souls is like the first film in this entire box set on the first disc, and it deserves to be there, frankly. Between that and House on Haunted Hill, it deserves to be there. It's sad that on that same disc, on the same side of that disc, because it's double-sided discs in this box sets, it's a shame that the other film on here is Adam Age Vampire, which I plan on talking about next, because that film does not deserve to be on the same disc as Carnival of Souls. Carnival of Souls is too good for that. Anyway, what are your thoughts on Carnival of Souls? Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Do you enjoy the film? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Have you taken my recommendation to go watch it on YouTube or wherever you could see it for free? Because it deserves to be seen for free. It's great. Check out some of the other things I recommended here too. I hope that this month I can bring out a lot of more things like Goosebumps videos for you guys, some more sort of semi-Goosebumps videos I can find for you guys. I want to catch up on the Slappy World books and stuff for this month. Maybe, because the new book comes out this coming week, and it'd be nice to catch up on Slappy World in the next couple of weeks and be up for anything new that comes out. But I doubt it's going to happen. It's me. I move slow. I take my time. I make sure I enjoy everything. Anyway, what are your thoughts on all this stuff? What are your thoughts on Carnival of Souls? Put your thoughts in comments down below. Again, 4 out of 5 stars for me. Really dig this movie. Really spooky and very fun. Anyway, thank you for watching. God bless you guys. Happy Halloween and goodbye.